Attention passionate Chicago, Bears fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC North and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Chicago Bears' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Chicago Bears fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your friends and Chicago Bears fans. Let's get to the news now, folks. This is one of those rumors that could really shake things up in the NFC North and honestly, even across the NFC as a whole. It's about Trey Hendrickson, a guy who's been making a name for himself as one of the most consistent pass rushers in the league, potentially landing in Chicago. And if this deal goes down, it could be a game changer for the Bears, especially on the defensive front. So let's break down what's happening here, what it means for the Bears, and why fans should be paying close attention. Right now, the Cincinnati Bengals seem to be in a bit of a tough spot. They're sitting at 6-6, and their 2025 season has been pretty inconsistent. According to insiders, the Bengals are exploring ways to shake things up, and one of the options they're considering is trading Hendrickson, one of their most productive defensive players. The reasoning? The Bengals are trying to free up cap space, around $10 million, to make some extensions, possibly for their younger players, and to rebuild for the future. They're looking at a second-round pick in 2026 in exchange, which shows they're valuing Hendrickson, but also trying to manage their roster for a more sustainable future. It's a smart move in some ways, especially considering the Bengals' struggles on defense, where they're surrendering around 8 points per game. But let's talk about Hendrickson himself. This guy has been a force on the edge, bringing consistent pressure and making plays all across the field. Over his career, he's accumulated over 60 sacks, with more than 150 quarterback hits and 15 forced fumbles in just 90 games. That's a level of production that any team would be happy to have, especially one looking to bolster its pass rush. Even in this injury-plagued 2025 season, Hendrickson has managed to rack up impressive stats: 10 tackles for loss, 5 sacks, 32 total pressures, and a Pro Football Focus pass rush grade of 87.4. That's elite production, and when you combine his EPA, expected points added, per rush of plus 0.24 and a win rate of around 16%, it's clear he's a difference maker. Now the Bengals are likely willing to part ways with Hendrickson because they see it as a way to cut costs and avoid a decline similar to what happened after they lost Hubbard last year. They're aiming to stay competitive, but they also need to be strategic about their cap and future roster building. It's a balancing act for sure. The question is, how will this impact the Bears? Well, if the Bears can land Hendrickson, it's a massive boost for their defense. Currently, Chicago's front seven is playing well, but they're hungry for more turnovers, something that could elevate their game even further. They've already racked up 35 sacks this season, but adding a guy like Hendrickson could push that number even higher. Think about it. Hendrickson is projected to increase the Bears' sack total by around 18%. That's a significant upgrade, especially considering the importance of pass rush in today's NFL. Plus, his presence on the field could help generate more turnovers, which is exactly what the Bears need to turn close games into wins. Their defense, while solid, has been a bit inconsistent when it comes to forcing turnovers. Adding Hendrickson's ability to pressure quarterbacks and create chaos could be the missing piece for a defense that already has some talent, but just needs that extra push to be dominant. And let's not forget about the bigger picture here. The Bears are sitting at 9-3, with a chance to make a serious run in the playoffs. They're in a good spot, but to really contend, they need to elevate their game, especially against top-tier quarterbacks and playoff-caliber teams. Hendrickson's skill set, his ability to generate pressure, force fumbles, and make plays in critical moments, could be exactly what Chicago needs to solidify its place among the NFC's elite. Plus, with his experience and leadership, he could be a key figure in the locker room, helping to motivate and mentor the younger players. Now, let's talk about the potential impact in the playoffs. Hendrickson has been a difference maker in big moments, and his ability to pressure QBs in the postseason could elevate Chicago's chances of making a deep run. The odds for the Bears to win the Super Bowl have already improved from plus 1,800 to plus 650, and adding a proven pass rusher like Hendrickson could be the final piece that gets them over the hump. His knack for forcing turnovers and creating pressure in critical moments could turn close playoff games into decisive victories. It's the kind of addition that turns a good team into a great one, and for Bears fans dreaming of another Super Bowl appearance, this is exactly the kind of move that could make that dream a reality. Of course, there are some skeptics out there. Some analysts point out that the Bengals' pass rush has already taken a hit this season, with a projected 15% decline without Hendrickson, and they worry about the overall impact on Cincinnati's defense. They argue that losing a player of Hendrickson's caliber could hurt more than help, especially if the team doesn't replace his production adequately. Plus, there's always the risk that a new environment might not be a perfect fit for a player like Hendrickson, who has built chemistry with his current team. But for Bears fans, the potential upside is just too big to ignore. Imagine Hendrickson lining up opposite Robert Quinn or alongside DeMarcus Walker, creating a relentless pass rush that keeps quarterbacks on their heels and forces quick throws or mistakes. That kind of pressure can lead to more sacks, more turnovers, and ultimately more wins. With Hendrickson's experience and proven production, he could be the veteran presence Chicago needs to push their defense to the next level, especially as they prepare for the playoff push. Looking ahead, if this trade happens, it's going to send shockwaves through the NFC North and the league. The Bears would be making a statement. They're not just content with being a good team. They want to be a playoff and Super Bowl contender. Hendrickson's addition could be the move that cements their status as a true contender, especially if he can replicate or even surpass his previous season's production. The NFC North has always been a competitive division, but with a player like Hendrickson, the Bears could be the team that takes a significant step forward and sets the tone for the rest of the league. So, in summary, this potential trade is one to watch closely. The Bengals are looking to rebuild and manage their cap, while the Bears are all in on making a serious playoff run. Hendrickson, with his consistent production, ability to pressure quarterbacks, and knack for forcing turnovers, could be the perfect fit in Chicago. It's the kind of move that could turn their defense into a nightmare for offenses, especially come playoff time. For Bears fans, this is a storyline that embodies hope, ambition, and the relentless pursuit of excellence. The team is already on a good path, but adding a player like Hendrickson could be the final piece of the puzzle. And now, Chicago Bears fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Chicago Bears. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest Chicago Bears news. Let's keep this passion alive and continue supporting our team every step of the way.